Can you hear me now? I think my mic might have been off. Let me know if you can hear us and see us. And if you're on Facebook, I'm hoping that you guys can respond. Don't know what happened on Sunday. It was something weird going on. But hello to everybody.
Hello,
Kim is the early bird. And Sissy and brother-in-law, the second runner-up. Happy birthday, belated, Sissy. Yesterday was her 63rd birthday. And Jill, we missed you on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Dee Dee. Tell George I said hello. He's probably working or whatever. It's so good to see you guys are here with us. And hey, Pat. Hey, Oliver and Yo-Yo. I hope you guys are doing well. Good to have you with us. Morgan and JK, James Kessler. I'm glad you're here. I did read your thank you on Sunday. Some people weren't able to see us on Facebook on Sunday. We had some issues. I'm not sure what happened, but our video got blocked on Facebook, but we were still live on YouTube, and some still saw us on Facebook. It was really weird, really weird. Anyway, we're hoping that it won't happen again. And let's see who else is here. Hey, bro Joe and John Greason. How are you? Hey, Linda. Hello, Linda. And let's see here. Who else is here? Diana. Hi, Diana. And thank you, Jill. She says, don't forget to like on YouTube. Yeah, like on both. Yeah, that helps our algorithm. I think something happened with the algorithm on Sunday. For some reason, they thought I had violated a copyright for Sony music, but I didn't have music. So, go figure. Yeah. So Linda says she can hear us. Good. Okay. Everybody's good, and they can comment today. Thank you. Hey, Apostle Norman.
Good to have you, bud.
Yeah.
Vern.
Hey, Vern. You and Johnny. Let's see here. Somebody else said, hello, guess who? Sister Chris is back on. Woo!
Oh, that's great.
Sister Chris has been calling in because she didn't have internet because something happened with her internet server, and she's back on. Congratulations. Congrats. I am so good. I am so glad for that, Sister Chris.
Yeah, glad to hear.
Wow, that's Sister Chris back on the scene. Oliver said he's watching us on Twitter. Cool. Wow. Well, let's get into it. What are we going to get into tonight? This is my sidekick. In case you don't know, I'm Toni Sawyer, and this is my sidekick.
I ain't siding. I'm riding.
Oh, you my what do they call it? My shotgun buddy.
I guess so.
Yeah, we've been shotgun buddies for a long time.
About 2 years.
Okay.
52 years.
52. Yes. I ran across this in my. I've been reading some interesting stuff lately. I'm reading. I'm not going to read out of it tonight, but the book by Will Smith. Will. His life story, and man, is it good. It is really, really good. Very detailed, but really some good nuggets in there. I'm thinking, wow, this young man is really onto something. Anyway, I've been reading that, and still reading from this book. I'm going to read a little bit out of it tonight. Make It Now by Father Richard Rohr. Learning to See as the Mystics See. There we go. And if you don't mind, I'll just read a little bit. And this is the chapter about that. What do we mean by being awake? And I think it's really, really interesting. He said, does it mean being happy? Does it mean doing more good and reasonable thinking? Does it mean being grateful and appreciative? Does it mean being helpful and useful with what is right in front of you? Does it mean not wasting time and being more productive? Does it mean trying harder and doing better? Does it mean reflecting regularly, what we call examination of conscience? And then he says this, in his gatherings, these are the most common ways that people understand the phrase, and they might well be some of the good results of being awake. But They are not the essential insight. This is not what the great traditions mean by paying attention, being conscious, or being awake.
Mm-hmm.
It is important to understand this. Being conscious or aware means I drop to a level deeper than this passing show. I become the calm seer of my dramas from that level.
Mm.
And I think that's it. That's interesting there, because that's what I think all of us are striving for. I become the calm seer of my dramas from that deeper level.
Calm seer
Mm-hmm.
from a deeper level.
Yes, I watch myself compassionately
Okay.
from a from a little distance.
Watching yourself compassionately is watching yourself in the eternal forgiveness.
Yes, and without opinion of myself, without a comment or a judgment about myself.
Even though there are reactions that come up out of the draws of the conditioned self, there will be reaction, but observed with no judgment.
And I'm more kind when I am watching myself compassionately. I'm more kind to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it says from a little distance, almost as if myself is someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he said, I disidentify with my own emotional noise. No longer let it pull me here and there, up and down. I think that's where some people have problems, because we feel that pull up and down here and there. But it just still doesn't change the fact that I'm living from that deeper level and I'm watching it. I am that one that is aware of the pull.
You got to be, it has to go like this. This is the normal hum.
Yes. And then he says, being conscious or aware means I stop thinking about this or that and collapse into pure consciousness of nothing in particular. Then
there are going to be some that will relax the mind and some not. But there is a status quo in your true identity that there will be those of you who can still walk in that place in the midst of the noise. So some minds are saying, I can't walk until I find out how to stop this. Then some can stop it. Do not allow your ego to compare, because it may be intended for your course to have an opposite real strong because of the quality of work that has been done to bring you into a much finite awareness of your true self. So each opposite, each case is measured out by infinite determination and not by opinions.
True. Now he says you collapse into pure consciousness.
Relax. That's right.
Collapse into.
That's like saying collapse the space between you and your true self. That means you'll see, 1 minute you'll see God as individualized like Jesus did, and the next minute you'll see oneness. He operated in both opposites.
He did, yes.
Knowing, never losing the awareness of his higher self.
And I think all spiritual sages, gurus, teachers, whatever, they actually do that.
All of us.
We all operate in that. Then he says this, collapse into pure consciousness of nothing in particular. You don't get there. You fall there.
Now, I heard somebody on television today say, let me show you what comes up in your life that predicts that you're not a Christian. Okay. I saw that. I heard that. I heard that.
But I'm
okay. All right. Here's what he said. If you are a Christian, there's one particular area that you do not have trouble with. I turn it off because I know that's a reaction now. Okay. But at the same time, I want you to catch this reaction. Use the reaction. He's saying If you don't have it, you're okay. If you do have it, you're not. I'm going to put it together. You're okay either way, because I'm beginning to find out that the monitoring system that measures whether you are in or out is still part of the ego.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So being conscious or aware means that I just mentioned. Then he said, at first, it does not feel like me.
There you go. See?
And is even unfamiliar territory, because up to now, I thought that my thinking was me.
Now I like that, because he's explaining A, B, C.
Yes, yes.
We find out that our thinking is not us. We find out a lot of these feelings are not us. We find out what the true self is. But that is finding out is not the real self that is observing it. The observer is not finding out. It is.
Yes.
Now, if there is a problem with you determining whether you're in or out or not, that is not coming from your true identity.
Sure.
There is, in other words, hold on, tie yourself down if you can, and hold on to the bucking horse, because that bucking horse is nothing but your conditioned self giving you, or giving itself, its last blow. So just anxiety. I don't feel like I'm there. Bad thoughts, bad feelings.
I'm scared.
I'm
scared.
Panicking, and here's the big one. I must be in the wrong spirit. I must be in the wrong energy.
Or I must be oppressed by some negative energy or whatever.
All of that is the whiplash that comes because actually what is taking place, you are moving, you have not moving, you have already you're finding out that you are there.
Relocated.
That's why you're having the smoke screen than the bucking horse.
Yes. So your awareness has relocated itself. And he said this was just really good. He said, at first it doesn't feel like me.
There you go.
And it's even unfamiliar territory.
Now that's so right there. It don't feel like it's me. Who is it all this time thought it was the me that felt or didn't feel like it was you?
Yes. He said, because up to now, I thought my thinking was me.
Who the I that thought it?
I thought my thinking was me. I thought my feelings were me.
There you go.
I thought my memories was me. I thought my story was me.
They having PTSD.
Okay. Then he said this. This is the accurate meaning of Jesus's teaching on losing oneself to find oneself. In Luke 9:24. Right. Somebody find that scripture for me. Luke 9:24. I don't happen to have my Bible right close to me. He said, this new and broader sense of me soon begins to feel like your deepest and truest self. It seems solid and unchanging.
For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it.
Yeah. So that's losing oneself to find oneself. This is what he was saying.
And the self that you're losing, you ready?
Is the one that thinks that it is not the true self.
Now, they say, well, if I've lost itself, why does it still keep acting like it's me?
That's the mind doing its rope-a-dope, as they say.
If you know that it is still there, if you're aware it's there and it's not you, you're in good hands.
Okay. And so he says this, that at first it doesn't feel like me, but then he said, this new and broader sense of me soon begins to feel like your deepest and truest self. It seems solid and unchanging. And at this point, God, consciousness, me, silent emptiness, fullness at the same time, all start to feel like the same wonderful thing. Okay? I believe this deeper self is what most traditions were referring to as the true self, or in some cases, the soul, and what some might even call the collective unconscious. Because when you live there, you are somehow shared.
Okay. Somehow shared.
You are not just, well, you are one, but it's a shared one. It's only one. And so the many is the shared one.
In and through the occasion of Christ, the life of Jesus. Let me let you in on something. This is insight, mystical insight. During the time that Jesus' body was on earth, the Christ, him, was eternal spirit. Watch this now.
Okay.
During the time that Jesus was on earth, we were, as the eternal self, the eternal spirit that was in him.
Yes. Yes.
We often see it as his eternal spirit is the eternal spirit in us. Now I'm finding out from the other side, looking back, that we, I and you, were the eternal spirit in him, as well as he was the eternal spirit in us as us.
Yes.
We were in him as him, and now he is in us as us.
Yes. Now we haven't had many comments from you guys, and I need to make sure that you're still there, and we haven't had the same issue that we had on Sunday. So if you're with us, let me know by commenting.
Let's
because
see.
we
Come on, they did. I'm like you.
We haven't had a comment in a while, so I want to make sure that everybody is still with us. So if you're still with us, please post a comment, okay? So we know that you're there.
All measuring sticks.
Thank you, Renee. She said, stay with us.
All measuring sticks are on the table down. Let's look at them. Let's look at one main one that is really popular in the deliverance and the church: generational curses from your past and from your family is haunting you. And I want to get rid of the habits in me that my dad and mama had, that I don't want to have anything like that in my life as a believer. That may be the very thing that you see the most of as you venture in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's called inward facing.
Yes. Thank you guys for responding. Yes. So the more, let's see how I want to say this. When I am clear as to not being the thinker, when I am, I want to say, planted in the truth of that, the mind then begins to have a near-death experience.
Let me tell you something. This is the mystical side of it, Brother James. We got your note there. Brother James, listen. There is a place in waking up of the function, absolute knowing. There's a knowing that operates. Most is one of the hardest bulls that you're gonna have to ride, and that is bookology, paper and ink information. One of the things that you'll find out in waking up to your true self, I wrote something on finding words. The big word wisdom is what operates in oneness. Separation operates in a type of knowledge that is dead. When Jesus appeared to me and my wife years ago in one area, I looked at a picture on the wall and I looked back at him because I was trying to determine whether my imagination was bringing him into my view,
which
awareness,
is always possible.
which is always possible. So I discerned it. I checked it.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at a picture on the wall, then I looked back at him. What I was doing was checking to see if I look at this picture and get my attention away from him, and this is what I see. When I look back, if it's imagination, he'll be gone. I look back, he was still standing there.
Not only that, but because of our concept in religion and what we thought was true, you imagined sandals on his feet.
I put sandals with my imagination.
And he took them off.
He trained me then, she and I, to see the truth behind what was condition versus reality. It had nothing. We didn't have to believe he was there. We didn't have to believe he was gone. Yeah. He said, I look not like the picture on the wall, neither can the hand of a man paint with a brush. You may paint him, but there's one thing you're missing. The reality of his beingness, life.
And I have to say this, that experiences, spiritual experiences like we had, come and go. They come and go, but they leave a residual effect.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yes, and that residual effect is what actually has sustained us and has been the reference point for us in many cases.
Let me tell you guys out there, something that happened very, very unique today. I had an appointment to go to.
Oh, it is, yeah.
To the doctor's office.
Can I say something
first?
Go
ahead.
Because of all of the things that Pastor's been through with his back, we've been to multiple medical facilities, physical therapy, orthopedics, all kinds of chiropractors, all kinds, and all different types of therapies or whatever. Nothing has really helped. So I had this intuitive desire, intuitive thought to come up to see if he could get an appointment with a neurologist, which would check the nerves to make sure that they're not damaged, because he has a sciatica. We don't want those nerves to become permanently damaged.
That's right.
And so, because then that means the condition would be permanent and it would be worse. It would
have to go at a different angle.
Gradually become worse over time. So anyway, we got the appointment with the neurologist, and you went on yesterday. Yesterday we went, and he talked to him, and he gave him some insight and a new medication and all of that, and then wanted him to come back today for a nerve conduction study.
Now, I've had that study years ago, but the doctor that did it was working for the company that I was working for, and he was very brutal with it.
Yes.
And I didn't know then what I know now, but when I went in there,
you really didn't want to have it.
I said, we sat here last night and canceled the info.
I went online to my chart and canceled the appointment.
Right, last night. And I had to be there at 7:45.
Yeah.
So what I did, I said, I'm going to take a chance on it.
He left me in bed and took off.
Yeah, I took off. It was 7 o'clock at least. And I went there. When I got there, I had to wait 45 minutes at least before I could get in the door. And the nurses and attendants were coming through. They recognized me from the visit, the first one.
Yeah, they think he's Santa Claus.
And they said, just give us a little time. We'll open the door for you. And I went in, and I sat there, and they come out, and she said that it shows on there that you have already canceled the appointment. But I said, I'm hoping that not anyone has filled that space since the time I did it last night to this morning. She said, oh, no, they see it on there where you canceled it, but we can change it. So they changed it back to the normal thing before anybody else took that space. So I sat there for 45 minutes, almost an hour, waiting for them to come and call me back. They did. I went back. The girl took me in the room. She prepped me, got me ready, put on the gown. She said, lay on your back, cover up. So I laid there. I said, look, I don't want to go through the suffering or pain of needles. I said, I've been through 3-4 times of this. I said, my soul and my heart. I said, down through my solar plex. I said, I can't take no more of that. I felt something when I said that. And she hooked me up. She put the needle in. And what she did, she told me, when it started hurting, you tell me and I'll stop. And I did. And she stopped. She went on through the procedure. And while she was standing there, you won't believe this. Yes, you will. But she went on through the procedure. And do you know that what she had in her hand to on the machine that was supposed to be used to determine the activity of the nerve, it fell apart in her hand. Now I'm telling you the truth. Now listen, the screws just shot out of it, and it fell to the thing just broke up, and a piece of the rubber on the thing broke off. I ain't telling you those. I'm telling you.
That's hilarious.
And I laid there and I listened to it. She got on the phone. She called the manufacturer in Winston-Salem. She called everybody around, and she told them they told her how to hook it up. And she said, "I've done everything that the instructions said, and it is not working." I said, "What is going on?" And she said, she went out and came back. That department was absolutely upset because they had 5 to 7 more patients to do that today, and they are losing money.
Yeah,
they got been out. I said, "Honey," I said, "those."
You were happy.
Oh yeah, but this is what I thought. I said, "Don't worry about it," because she told me she's gonna do the right leg, and then I'm gonna switch position. She's gonna do the left leg. She didn't get started. Hooked me up, all that stuff, and I said to her, "Honey," I said, "don't worry about it." I said, "Those." And here's my talk. On the other side has said no to this. So don't be upset. I'm satisfied. I'm okay. Don't worry with this. I said it was not meant to be today.
That's right.
She said, "Well, we can make another appointment for you to come by." I said,
I like what Linda said. Linda said, "You canceled your cancellation." That's exactly right.
Oh, glory.
He canceled his cancellation.
I did. But that girl was, I said, "How long you been doing this?" She told me. I said, "How old are you?" She said, 35. I said, "Hush, girl, you just a spring chicken. You just got started." And I said, "Well, this thing," and I looked at it. She let me look at it. And there's a piece of rubber. Somebody deliberately sabotaged that thing.
And it went bad on your
Yes. And my appointment was the kickoff for this thing. And she called. I heard her on the telephone. She said, "What can I do? It's not working."
And it's so funny because he really, really did not want to have this nerve conduction study. And I understood. I told him that our inner self, while we weren't, I'd say, consciously aware of it, our inner self knew that machine wasn't going to work. And that's why we canceled it.
But I went. Sweetheart, I had a chance to talk to one of the receptionists up front about the whole thing, just about in a matter of 15 or 20 minutes that we discussed on this class. She sat there and her face glowed, and I looked at her in her eyes behind the mask. I said, "They taught me how to see Christ in everybody I meet." I said, "I see him looking at me out your eyes."
So you had an appointment.
Yes.
But it was an appointment.
Oh, glory.
Yeah, it was another.
My God Almighty. I had a chance to show them what I had a chance to see Christ, show them. It was not a religious thing. It was a life experience of the Christ doing something, and it said everything that it could about the eternal existence, controlling things. I said, "Lady," I said, "this thing from our help on the other side is working this thing." I had a chance to talk to him. I talked to him about this.
You know, our life is such an adventure.
Lord have mercy. It is.
It is such an adventure.
It is.
I did a eulogy last week with two different shoes on.
Yeah.
And it was the one thing that broke the ice that made everybody comfortable.
So when I left, I was getting ready to, and every time I talked to the receptionists up front, they were trying to find out, did everything come out? Could she use the information that she got from what little she did? And the lady said no. And they were trying to contact the people for the machine. And the girl said she's going to have to go all the way to Winston-Salem as part of her job and pick up another a machine and bring it back. Wow. Here's what happened. I said no to the other appointment because the lady said, even if she got the part and come back with it, it still may not be the reason why it won't work. So she'll have to do it again. They would have lost thousands of dollars today. I mean, buku money. But I'm going to call buku a heap of money. So I'm going to do something after my appointments here at the house in the morning. I'm going to go back over there personally, and I'm going to take them something of a token to show my appreciation to them. And I'm going to see if I can make a point. But the last time we was there, they said they won't have no more openings to after Christmas. But I'm going to see if I can't do something
and it
before
doesn't
then.
matter if it does or doesn't.
Because I found out now that based on what she did, I can take it now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So Oliver says this, which is good. The universal experience that we must all have.
It's so, this experience that we're having right now with me telling you this, I know without a doubt, a man came up behind me, and I said attorney and the appointment receptionist, I looked and I saw this man coming. They were lined up. I said, look, let me let him come. And when he came up beside me, I looked at his presence and I saw the Christ. And I said, I came this morning to meet you. I'm talking. Hey, look, I will deliberately tell people, I don't care whether they know Jesus consciously or not, or finite. I'll look at them. I say, I see Christ in you.
Yes, yes.
They look at me like, yeah, good morning. That's all right. That's all right. It is a call of God to see. Now you go ahead. You got something to read?
Just a little more. He said this new perspective and foundation allows you to see things for what they really are, and also for what they are not at all. It is indeed a radical perceptual shift that the tradition would call conversion.
Is. Now listen, let me tell you this. Today I was in the front room after all of this, and this is what was being monitored in my universe. The young kids that are born now, the babies, they're not going to see the Christ the way we used to see it, as just him being in us and with us.
Because of their perception.
Their perception is
going to be
changing.
Totally different, yes.
The little babies that are born now will not see what we went through as brick and mortar. Fundamental
Christianity.
There is a great move of the presence of God in the universe, especially in the earth realm, of people waking up. And Christ and many other sages in the form of Christ is appearing to those people without having any contact at all with the brick and mortar and religion.
Yes.
We are in also,
and in some cases, not even have contact with the spiritual community.
And I'll tell you something else is going to be is being dealt with. The big hierarchies or the sages who have operated in I'm the boss, you do what I say, you get it the way I get it, and the patterns that we've had of want to identify with them just to get a corner with them is being blasted all to pieces. There shall be no one who is a champ in this thing except for, and look, and those that are in that position now is going to find out what it means to speak and bring this information forward without the ego taking a positionality that I am the presence of, I made it, I am the sage, and I'm publicly, I am noticed.
Without giving off the image of I have arrived.
That's it. That's it.
And
That's
you,
it. That's
you
it.
need to come to where I am.
That's right. And
you need to be as I am in order to have arrived.
That's right. That's right. And there is also a revival taking place of people having more and more visitations from the other side, and Jesus Christ and others again is appearing, but we're having more experiences of near-death encounters
And out of body.
and out-of-body
Yeah,
travel.
yeah.
And what the
Yeah.
church in the religious side said that is Ichabod, skull and bones. They are finding out.
It's happening.
Yeah, they're finding out that Jesus Christ and others who had these out-of-body experiences is coming to the forefront, and he did have them, and we are having them every night in our sleep, and we call them dreams, but they're not dreams.
Well, for myself personally, I have begun to have more incidents of slipping into that fifth dimension with my third eye. So I'm beginning to see things that are there that everybody else may not be seeing at the moment. But I'm seeing it, and it looks just like everything else.
God gave himself to receive himself.
Yes.
He gave himself to receive himself, and he is taking on deliberately the discovery of himself in everything that is finite in us as him.
That's good.
He's taking on the responsibility to discover everything about himself as us. Wow.
Yes.
He discovered everything. He discovered everything in himself about us, and we discovered everything in ourselves, true self, about him.
Yes.
Now that is a humdinger.
And then I was in reading that book by Will Smith, and I'm not endorsing the book. I'm just saying this is what I got out of it.
Look what she did. My mama canceled her too.
Yeah, she said that. And there's a difference in having a purpose, living on purpose, or living by desire. Okay. For instance, I'll take us as an example. When the pandemic hit, and we conversed with our flock about the potential of shutting the building down, and everybody agreed we'd go so long, and then if the landlords didn't cooperate, then we would shut down, and we would just go virtual, and that's what we did. We did that,
and he did cooperate, didn't he?
Well, to a degree.
Okay.
That's why we're not there anymore.
Well, I mean,
that's why we're not there anymore, because he didn't cooperate anymore. But so anyway, my point is, we shut down the brick and the mortar and went virtual only, and that it wasn't so much because of a purpose.
That's right.
It was almost mandatory, because we had to survive. In order to survive, we had to continue.
I don't know why, but let me cut you off. I sense while you're talking that there is a offer, a good something opening up, a potential of going into another brick and mortar, but under different conditions, different. I'm not going to mess with it, but I just said that is not closed completely yet, because we're going to stay virtual.
Yeah, I understand.
But I'm saying that when you said that, I heard it and sensed it, and could sense the awness of it. He said, "Watch." Okay, you said watch. Okay, go ahead. Go and finish.
I'm trying to catch my train of thought.
Yeah, you said about the brick and mortar, and we closed down, and
it'll come back. It'll come back.
But we closed down, and we're going virtual.
Yeah, I know, but I've lost what I was going.
Okay, it'll come back. Yeah. Now, this that we're saying, we're not saying it to be right or wrong or true. We just know it. As you move in awareness of what we are saying, that is being pronounced, the trumpet is blowing. I see the horns of a deer that is standing up in the midst of the church or believers or over the earth, and this deer horn is with an antelope or something like that animal. But I see it right as I speak to you, and it is communicating with the spirit and the soul of every person in the earth. I don't know what this means, but I see it. And it is saying, I am going to show you what it means to have the lion to lay with the lamb. There is, you talking about peace. But at the same time, sweetheart, let's get this. There may be an upheaval in the personal sides of our, what you might say, the earth functions of government. I'm going to leave that where it is. Okay? There may be more of that in the earth because the coming forth of this great awareness is going to stir up inside of us.
And it is stirring up.
And it is stirring up. But the Christ strength is still the middle path, observing all of it. Strengthen them with the spirit of might. The spirit of might definition is the ability to do all things without distractions. How they said about Jesus, what kind of man is this that he sets out to do something and he finishes it? He said all the evil things that are speaking out of people come to him, and it does not disturb the undisturbed self.
Yes.
And they kept wondering, how can this man? Then some of them came to, how do you do this? I'm not interested in anybody coming to me asking me like they used to. Pastor, I had one on the lines on the telephone. He wants to know how I did these things. I said, I taught that stuff back there in the brick and mortar in the beginning. And I said, I can teach it and I will, but not now. I'm in a phase of knowing exactly what it means to observe this stuff and leave it alone.
Okay. Yes. So now I think I remember what I was going to say. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So in the book, Will Smith talks about the difference between purpose and desire. And so I realized after reading it that a lot of us have started to do things that we desire to do, but they were not purposeful. Okay. And so I want you to listen to me now.
I'm listening.
Because like you were talking about the brick and the mortar, if we were to go back in the brick and the mortar, I am not opposed to that as long as it's purposeful. I don't want to do it because of a desire. And so a desire is, I'm going to make this happen because it'll make me feel better, or I'll feel good about it, and all of this different stuff. But when it's a purpose, when it's purposeful, it means I'm going to do it because it's going to help other people.
That's right.
So that is supposed to be the only motive that we have to go and embark on anything that's new or anything that's different from what we're doing now. It must be that I want to do it to help other people. I've got to pass it forward. What I have experienced, what I have discovered must be passed forward. Not, I can't desire it because I want to have a name
and something,
or because I want to be noted or something to prove
a point.
I can't even do it because that's what I used to do. So it has to be totally different.
Here's something that's said in 44th verse of the 9th chapter. I think it's the 9th chapter of Luke. Jesus made a statement. O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you and suffer you? Bring thy son hither.
Yes.
Now listen to this.
Yes.
He's telling this lady, I will heal your son or your family member, whether you believe in me or not.
Right.
That is what, I hear it said, and
that's what I mean when I say the difference between purpose and desire.
Yeah.
He did not heal him because he desired to have him to be notarized. To be noted.
He knew that they were faithless. They knew. He said, oh, faithless.
He simply did it for them.
That has nothing to do with your church denomination and your organization.
Yes. Simply did it for them.
This thing is absolute. I have seen this happen so many times. When I was raised up, and you hear me talking about the moonshine, bootleg, and shotgun house, I have seen in the moonshine house how God has set my aunt free from a sinus condition, and all I did was take this finger and touch her on the head, and it popped, her nose popped. It said, poop. and I heard it in the kitchen, and I didn't have but a few minutes to get back to the factory up the road to work. And I went there just for that.
Yes, that's true.
I saw it. I've seen this happen.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
in the last, I say since the pandemic, I've come to a place where I understand what it means to be vulnerable and to feel vulnerable. And when the broadcast went down on Sunday, I felt it again. Okay. Because we were in a very vulnerable spot. That's and we've been in a very vulnerable spot before. Ever since, even longer than the pandemic. Yeah, I mean, just really. We've been in a very vulnerable spot. So we have kind of learned to live in that vulnerability. But I realized that whatever we do from here on out, even if it's what we're doing right now, it must be done with purpose. It must be done not because we're trying to survive, not because we want people to follow us, but because we want to help people. And that we know that we have something to help them with.
Here's another move I sense is happening in the universe. Moving with God without animosity.
Yes.
Moving with God because we done found out that the lover as us is unconditional.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I like it like that. The name of the game is I like it like that. Come on, let me tell you where it's at.
Where is that?
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Let me
tell you where it's at. The name of
the game is I like it
like that. Do.
We're going to go on the road.
And we're going to start.
Yes, we will, man. We will start. Oh, we'll be the best comedians.
Oh, what somebody say that? Call Jesus of Nazareth. What did she say there? The call of Jesus of Nazareth. What about doing good healing? That's right. That's right.
She's talking about the healing that you mentioned.
Yeah. He went. He went.
Yeah.
He didn't go to do. He went.
He went, and he did it as he went.
Yeah.
So Vincent says, without animosity, is what's working on me now. All right. I keep slipping into getting upset with people.
That's all right. That's normal. You're going to do that.
Yeah, baby. You're going to do
Go ahead on and like that. Like that because it's showing you what you are not.
And a lot of times, Vincent,
you're free.
Unfortunately, what makes you slip into it is you see very clearly what people are doing when they're undermining.
That's right.
And so, I mean, it's just a natural response. But can I read this a little bit? We're just about done here.
Go ahead. Take your time.
This perceptual shift that we talked about, we're into awareness and awakening. He says, I can then begin to enjoy all things in themselves and not in terms of their usefulness or importance or threat to me. This I, this little old me, stops being the significant reference point for anything.
Look out.
Right.
Look out.
Yes, sir.
Something got a hold of me.
I'm not going to sing that with you.
Oh, it must be love.
I'm not going to sing that.
Ow! Something got a hold of me, girl. Oh, it must be love.
Oh, my goodness.
Then it said, come on, let me show you.
Let me read some.
Go ahead.
Because you're going to go off. Okay. This awareness deepens gradually on the cellular level.
Gradually.
On the cellular level.
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
Okay. Breathing level. Heart level. Seeing level. Hearing level. Teaching level. And aroma level.
Wow.
This is what is being refined in a regular contemplative sit.
Look out now.
The thinking level will be the last to fall because it always overstates its own importance and represses the other sources. So you must practice ignoring it.
Oh, Oh, glory be to God. I was sitting there watching a program on television, and the excitement got stirred up there, and I felt myself helping them through the screen.
Mhm.
And I said, I'll come back in my seat. I had, and every time you want to do like that.
And we after that, are you helping them? We ask each other, are you helping them? And we'll practice.
Make you aware of it.
Practice backing out of it.
Yeah. And I sit there and I think, the subconscious mind wants to keep you locked in to the program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But you're not that. If you was, you wouldn't be able to do this. You wouldn't be able to say, and stay in your seat.
Wow. I'm going to read this one more time. This awareness deepens gradually on the cellular level, the breathing level, the heart level,
heart,
the seeing level, the hearing level.
There you go.
The touching level.
There you go.
The aroma level.
Talk to me, girl.
This is what is being refined in a regular contemplative sit. The thinking level will be the last to fall because it always overstates its own importance and represses the other sources. So you must practice ignoring it.
There you go. There you go.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Ain't that a hot dog?
Good stuff.
Lord have mercy. Listen, you guys, I'm going to tell you this. Let me say this to you. Because of what happened online the other week, last Sunday. It cut back on our funds from coming in. And I'm not going to make that the center of this conversation or this event, but I want you guys to, if you can, make up for it, help us with it. At this point in the season, we'd appreciate it. Thank you again for the gifts, and thank you for the love. Thank you for the birthday presents, and the birthday circle that we had was absolutely wonderful.
It was.
There's nothing like having good, wholesome family and friends.
Now we're looking forward to Christmas.
Yeah, we're coming up.
I've been decorating a little bit.
Oh, she's been having a time.
She
wants everything perfect.
I do. Yes. I want Christmas in every room, but Christmas has to start in your heart first. Starts in your heart first.
So now we are at this point where you are really, really, really ready to see clearer than you've ever seen what has really been going on in your life from day one.
Yes.
That's my buddy over there.
Yeah, she's over here trying to get my attention.
Yeah, I heard her moving over there. Have you got any more in that cup?
Just a little.
Well, let her have it, baby. So anyway, the power of awareness is the power of God that reveals what already is.
Yes.
Don't have to sweat no more. Now I'm sweating a little bit now because I'm kind of working on this program, but I'm going to tell you the truth. It's a good sweat. Now that God has made it known to us that we are the producers of a kind of spirit beings that come out of each other.
Yes.
And at the time of departure of the body, we see clearer what is really going on behind this thing. I saw what some people said. They were told that if you go back to your body, and when you go back to it, there would be much pain. They hesitate and they say, well, can I stay over here? And he says to them, no, you cannot, because you haven't finished over there yet. Meaning this, they haven't finished using that body yet. Just a few minutes now, you're not going to be able to say anything about it because you're going to shake yourself and you'll be back into this.
Yes.
Don't throw the towel in yet. You guys haven't finished yet. You guys online haven't finished yet. You got a whole lot of seeing of God. And I am convinced that I see a lot of you guys out there somewhere during the daytime or in your sleep at night. You wake up the next morning, your chin will drop. Like, I see it. I know it. And then the thing will come up and say, but where did I get that from? Know this, that your knower is now the true word of God.
Yes.
And that true word of God has nothing to do with paper and ink.
Yes. I want to say what Linda said is true, absolutely true. She says, being able to watch your thoughts will lead to understanding you are not your thoughts.
That's right. That's right.
Once you understand they are not you, they are easy to ignore. And it's also, once you know the nature of the mind, it's easier to ignore the thoughts.
You're going to find out that somebody that God has set up in the universe has already dug the ditch to lay a foundation for you. And all you have to do is stand back and watch the move of God.
Yes. Now, I wanted to mention our friend Oliver and Yolanda. They're our friends Oliver and Yolanda have a show that come on every Friday.
They do. Show do.
Every Friday at 7. So if you would, just take a look at them. They're good. They were so good on last Friday.
Yes.
Anyway, just a little plug for them. And I'm sure they plug me once in a while.
Yeah.
So we love you guys. And we'll be back on Thursday with Pastor Norman at 12:30.
Norman J. Hickbach.
We had a great conversation last week.
Yeah, we did. We did.
So I'm looking forward to being with him and doing that on Thursday at 12:30. So we'll see you then.
Yep.
And if you don't make it then, we'll see you back on Sunday at 10.
Okay.
All righty,
you guys be good. Be good. Hang in there and hold it in the middle of the road and be safe.
Be safe.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.